All right, welcome back with Parish President Michel Claudet, who experienced about 6 to 8 inches of rain in some parts of Terrebonne Parish in a few short hours. But the good news is no water in homes, little bit in business, but not much. But still, if you got water, you got water. Now, Michel, the tropical season is here, of course.
We just had the second little run, but it's in the Atlantic, thankfully.
And I guess we always hate to say a practice event or whatever, but you know what? Every event that we go through should make us better for the ones coming up. We hope we don't have any, but if they do, should be ready to go, correct?
Absolutely correct. And Martin, it's kind of like this rain event. Seems like we've had a number of them, and I think we're getting better and better at handling them. You know, we're sorry for the street flooding that took place, but you know, we'll take street flooding any day over house flooding. And we're certainly pleased that a lot of the improvements that we put in all over the parish are starting to take effect in this particular area.
But let's be realistic, and I know I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to anger some people out there because street flooding, people hate to see it. But how can you stop it? When rain comes down that fast, there's no way to alleviate that, is it? Unless you have gigantic pumps all over the place, and we can't afford that, can we?
No. It's possible, but extremely expensive to try to prevent any type of street flooding at any particular time. A big example of that is underneath the overpass on the railroad tracks in New Orleans, where you see they were able to fix that, but it's a massive thing paid for by the federal government, and that pump station alone is so expensive that I'd hate to even think how expensive it might be.
And the maintenance.
Right. So what generally happens, we engineer all of our pump stations for certain events, and generally the rain will not fall consistently hard for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. It will fall, and we just hope it spaces out enough to allow the pumps to keep up. And that's what, unfortunately, in South Louisiana, where water levels rise and homes tend to subside, it's an ongoing problem.
How many homes have been raised in the last year or so?
We have, I know in my term it's been in excess of 1,000 have been raised, and that's one thing that we're looking for. We are constantly raising a number. We just got another 100 homes that we're putting up through HMGP, and it's going to be in that particular area.
Now let's take a few more phone calls. People are wanting to talk to you. HTV, welcome to the program. Your question, please. Hello.
Hi, Michel. This is Curtis Neal.
Hey, Curtis. How many inches you had?
I spoke to you this morning.
Yep. How many inches you had?
Thank you for calling me back. I was in Port-au-Shannon at Black's house this afternoon after all this rain. We probably had 8 inches of rain down there, and I understand all the streets will flood when this happens. My pastor's probably in the water. I haven't even gone back there, but the Port-au-Shannon church, with another 8 inches of rain, we would have probably water in the church. And the biggest problem there with the Port-au-Shannon Bayou is all those trees from the last couple of storms that still haven't been cleaned. Every time I hear Charlotte on the HTV or Charlotte Randolph on the Raging Cajun, I get on there and I ask them, when are we going to clean the Port-au-Shannon Bayou? And she says, it's between between the Lafourche and Terrebonne, and they're waiting for funding from this and that. I thought we had the funding for these bayous for Hurricane Ike and Gustav. The question, I guess, is what happened to the money that she had, and if we had any, why didn't we clean outside of the Port-au-Shannon Bayou if we had funding for it?
Okay.
It's deplorable.
Yeah, Curtis, it's supposed to be a project with 4 agencies: the South Lafourche Levee District, the Terrebonne Levee District, the Lafourche Parish Government, the Terrebonne Parish Government. Terrebonne Parish, and they asked me at my last town meeting why it wasn't done. We're not supposed to be the lead agency on that. We're supposed to participate, and there's another agency that's supposed to be the lead. Told them at the town hall meeting that what we're going to do is we're going to speak to the agency that's supposed to be the lead and have Terrebonne Parish try to take that lead. Now, let me explain a couple things. Just recently, we have some derelict vessels. We're going to be picking up derelict vessels in that area with some of our funds that we're getting. Then we run into problems if the vessel is on the Lafourche side. Same thing that happens with the trees that fall. In fact, at my meeting at the Sacred Heart Church and I say the meeting, when we went to the Sacred Heart Church thing just recently, somebody indicated they wanted to be annexed to Terrebonne because they're closer to Terrebonne than they are to Lafourche. And truly, I know Lafourche is doing a great job, as is the South Lafourche Levee District, as is all the other districts, but we're going to take a more active role on this thing, and we're going to get it done.
All right. Answer your question, Mr. Hurtis?
Thank you, Michel. I wish it would be like it was years back when the St. Louis Canal was our boundary line. Now it's in the middle of the Pont de Bayou, and that creates a problem. Nothing you can do about it, I'm sure. But when the property line between Lafourche and Terrebonne at one point in time was just St. Louis Canal. And within my lifetime, they moved it over to the middle of the Pont de Bayou, and there's been a conflict for years and years. I'm not blaming you for anything. I'm just saying it's a mess, and you've been on that island on the grand opening ribbon cutting for the Island Road, which is nice, but I'm sure you saw the trash in the trees and the bridges collapsed from the last couple of storms. And I just appreciate anything you can do to get it clarified and cleaned.
We will.
Get it done.
We'll do that. We'll take a more active role in trying to get it done.
Thank you, Mr. Hurtis. All right, I'm going to get Jay also. Give me a little more in my eye, being a little less than a speaker so I could hear the callers a little better. HTV, welcome to Bayou Time. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Yes. I'm calling about the drainage on Bayou Terrebonne.
Okay.
Over the years, Bayou Terrebonne has been plugged up. Back years ago, there used to be a drag line that used to keep it clean, and we don't do that anymore. With this hard rain we had, the Bayou starts flowing north, going towards the intercoastal. I'm talking about south of the intercoastal. We have all kinds of these big pumps on the north side and everything, but we don't have nothing on the south side. And where Bayou Terrebonne makes a Y and goes into Bayou Little Caillou, there's a lot of silt that builds up there, and it needs to be dredged out. Now, over the years, talking to politicians, they say, well, we don't know where to put the mud. We build in levees. We could use that mud to build levees with. Or they can't do that. The people that live on Bayou Terrebonne would take the mud. So I would like to know if there's anything in the works about cleaning out Bayou Terrebonne. Thank you.
That's a good question. I mean, and that's probably something that local government and state government have always tried to work out. Is that a tough problem?
I think it's really true, but actually, Bayou Terrebonne dredging, we just did that from in front of the mall all the way to Coteau, and that was a massive project. It cost in excess of $5 million. What they did, they had a dredge, and you saw probably the dredge, little lines that they had for discharge, and we have to build containment dikes and pump stuff in there. That would have to be a similar thing in that particular area. Now, there's been talks of a number of agencies about buying a dredge, and then if we did that and we could keep it operating, then we could actually build containment areas to put the spoil in for maybe some event like what you had indicated, even though the building of the levees requires a certain consistency of clay. I will suggest this to you. It needs to be done. There's no present plans on the books to get it done. There's no present plans that we have in Terrebonne to buy a dredge, but it is a problem that's not going to go away, and I will suggest this to you. They want to get dredge Dularge, Bayou Grand Caillou, Bayou Terrebonne, Bayou Little Caillou, and Bayou Pointe-aux-Chênes. So, there's plenty of places that we could do some dredging if there was an unlimited amount of money.
All right, very good. Let's take some other calls. HTV, welcome to the program. Your question or comment for Mr. Claudet, please.
Hello.
Hey, go ahead.
I'd like to congratulate Michel Claudet. I think he's a very good politician. It's nice to know that he can't be bought like some politicians in Louisiana. And I don't think anybody can run against him. Some politicians in Louisiana have a bad reputation. Some of them are a joke. But Michel Claudet is no joke. He's a very good person.
All right.
Well, thank you for those comments, and they were unsolicited. I can promise you that.
All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. But it's got to make you feel good on a tough day like today anyway.
After a long day, it's nice to hear some kind words.
HTV, welcome to the program. Your question or comment, please.
Hey, mine was on.
What's up, Ricky? How you doing? You stayed dry today?
Yeah, but I was around town after I got out the hospital, and I was surprised to see some of these streets that never flood.
Yeah, we had a lot of rain today, Ricky.
Lord T. Claude, you ain't alive.
Yeah, we had a lot of rain.
Mr. Claudet knows what I'm going for about right now.
Yeah.
It's that Jean Street area. That little old lady, one more time, is going to have to spend $300-400 on a carpet. I don't know who the councilman is, the head of that district, but I think he ought to reimburse her for her troubles of having to redo her room in her house, because I've been screaming about this, talking about this for I don't know how long, and the rain done it to her again.
What street is that, Ricky?
Jean Street, right over there off of Enterprise Boulevard, in that little neighborhood in the back.
That's the area
that's the area he was just talking about, that he's going to buy the houses back.
And what we're going to probably do is, not only do we have a project that's in the Bayou area, which should hopefully eliminate that, but we also have a project on the low-lying houses, if they're below the tailwater elevations for the pump station, that we are hoping that if the landowner would want to be purchased out, we'll be able to purchase them out, knock down the house, and allow it to be reservoir capacity for that particular area. That would be the same thing that would happen at the end of Westview, Roberta Grove, many of the places around that we've had flooding time after time.
All right. We appreciate that call. We'll keep moving along. HTV, welcome to the program. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Martin.
How you doing tonight?
All right. I would just like to say that the caller that called on Cleveland Avenue, I've noticed now for over a year now that the Van Avenue ditches, there's a lot of overgrowth and trash that is in the ditches, and I feel like that's probably the cause for the water that's into Cleveland Avenue and all of those areas.
Okay.
And I'd like to make this comment too. I have never seen a politician to work so hard as Mr. Claudet. And if he would run for president of the United States, I would vote for him in a second.
All right. Okay.
Thank you so much, but
you're on a roll.
Thank you.
May God bless you and keep you, Mr. Claudet.
Thank you, but if I can just solve Cleveland Avenue, I think I'd be happier than being President of the United States.
You're right, for
Thank
sure.
you.
Think you have problems now, huh? Okay. HTV, welcome to Bayou Time. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening. How y'all doing?
Good. How you doing tonight?
All right, buddy. Good evening, Mr. Michel.
Good evening.
Hey, Mr. Michel, let me ask you this question. I'm from Lafourche Parish. Terrebonne Parish, the parish president and the council members, do y'all usually get invited, or y'all could go out of state, a different state, where y'all could attend meetings to show y'all how to run the council or the parish better?
Well, there are many things that tell us how to run the council. Unfortunately, I'm not aware of any meetings that teach us how to get along amongst ourselves better, to actually work together to solve problems that would be, regardless of any, maybe, say, political influences that might be coming into play.
Can I ask you, because I'm sensing you're from Lafourche, are you asking him because you're thinking something's going on in Lafourche?
Well, you're damn right,
Okay.
Martin.
All right. What's going on?
I tried to get in touch with our parish president today. I tried to get in touch with my council today. I tried to get in touch with 2 other councilors today. Well, they're all out of state in Oregon or somewhere, attending a meeting to learn how to run a parish better and learn how to benefit on to raise money or to accumulate money to build a jail. You know, and here we are, we flooding over here. Okay,
Yeah.
my house flooded today, and they had a few other houses flooded today. Not the total house, but a bedroom and a bathroom. But you have people flooding and these people are out of state trying to learn, supposedly learn, and the taxpayers are paying for this, and we're gonna call, and they're gonna tell us, oh, we out of state. Call the parish phone.
Well, if I might mention, first off, I'm sorry that your house flooded, and I really am, because I've been flooded before, and it really is not something that I ever would want anybody to suffer through. But the meeting they're attending is called the NACO Conference. It's an arm for National Association of Counties. It's in Portland, Oregon right now, and there are certain members of not only our council, but Al Lebron, our parish manager, is at that conference. Hopefully, when they attend, it'll make them all smarter and they'll come back a little better. But I apologize for your problems in getting in touch with people.
Well, Michel, I mean, here we are. We got Terrebonne, Lafourche, St. Mary, and you got all the parishes going otherwhere. They don't have to go to out of state to learn this. They could do this in state. I mean, the money that we just spent these past days for them to be out there supposedly learning something, why they can't do that here? They can have a meeting at Cypress Columns, or they can have a meeting right here at the Civic Center. Why they got to go spend all this money out of state for this?
Well,
it don't make any sense.
Don't forget now, Ms. Randolph's going to be on the first Tuesday, so it'd be a good time for you to call, and I'm sure, and I want to give her a chance to defend herself and talk with you directly. So when she comes on that Tuesday, please make that call, because maybe she'd want to answer that, and you could question her for sure on that.
Well, I mean, yeah, she's going to have an answer for it, but what I'm saying, keep it in the state. It would save money, the taxpayers' money.
Yeah, you're more worried about keeping the economy going in Louisiana for that.
We had 3 or 4 months of dry spells, but you go in the Brutal Giai back here at the drainage ditch, you got washing machines and hot water heaters in the ditches stopping up the drain. Why is that not cleaned out?
I hear you loud and clear. But I appreciate the call. We'll move along. We have a councilman online. I appreciate your call, and thank you so much for calling tonight.
All right, buddy.
Okay. We have Councilman Joey Cehan on the line. How you doing, Joey?
Hey, Martin. Good evening to you and the president.
Good evening.
Good evening. I talked to you earlier, and I think you made a comment. I remember when you had the 4 inches of rain in probably an hour, way back when everybody was trying to clean the basins and all the clippings and the trash that went in it. You made a comment today that you thought things improved quite a bit. Tell me why you thought that.
Well, just like y'all were talking earlier about the water movement. Michel was mentioning how everybody was excited about. We had a lot of water flow in the ditches and what have you. Everything seemed to be working fine. I did have a problem on the east side at the corner of Troy and Tara,
okay,
where I cleaned the basins out myself and I pulled grass clippings out. And the neighbors in the area were talking to me, and they pointed out the problem to me, which Sergeant Belanger was out there with me with HPD, and he's going to keep an eye on these folks and try to keep these basins clean. But the little gate system on the levee on industrial really worked out, I think, to the same tune as the gates for Bayou Gardens Boulevard. I think it's going to really be an asset for us should we get a storm event.
Well, if you took that rainfall total last time we had that big rain event, and let's say we scored a C or a D on that one as a parish, 2 or 3 years later, how do we score today as a parish?
I tell you what, I was excited about it. I would give us a high B plus.
Okay, all right. So a lot of progress in your opinion.
A lot of progress. We still got a lot more to do, Martin. But I tell you what, it was we had some close calls, but for the most part, all of our pump stations were working. I think Michel said we had a problem at Lerat Street that was resolved pretty quickly. But I got to say, as a councilman, I was pleased with the way things went today.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Michel.
Thank you, Joey.
We do have to take a break. We're going to come back. All the lines are lit up. And if you're trying to get in, 879-1231. We'll be right back. Don't go away.